What's going on, everybody? It's your boy back again with another video. Today I'm gonna teach you how to build armor and maximize it efficiently inside of Destiny 2. This is mainly for beginners, tips and tricks to build armor sets and get armor worth keeping and kind of build around your stats and stuff. So anyways, let's get right to it. So the first thing I want to talk about is these numbers and what they mean. So off the bat we have mobility, and this, increases your movement speed and maximum jump height. This is good mainly for hunters, so they get their dodge back quicker. So if you're a hunter, this is one that you want to max out on. Resilience is for titans, basically how the amount of damage you can take before dying. This is good for getting back that barricade. And recovery is mainly for warlocks. It reduces your cooldown of your class ability, and recovery regains your lost health. And then these stats right here, we have discipline, which is your grenade and your grenade cooldown. Intellect has to do with your super and its recharge rate. And strength is your melee, and that's recharge rate. Now, each of them have 10 tiers, and they go, 1 through 10. 10 being the highest, and 1 being the lowest, or whatever. To max these out, you have to get armor with the stats that you want. Right, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to maximize that and places to get them. Now there's plenty of ways throughout the game to get stat rolled armor, but high stat rolled armor is a little bit hard to come by sometimes. There's plenty of activities to do in the game, such as Master Vogue drops it. A lot of seasonal activities drop it towards the higher scale difficulty. The main way to get it is coming to the Prismatic Recaster and getting the tier 3 stuff, the Recovery of the Lost. And see, it says high recovery roll, just high rolls. Now the best way to do this, the best way to farm for spiked rolls is to have an armor mod on. So for example, I have intellect armor on, and so basically if I take this to the Prismatic Recaster and get any piece other than armor or intellect armor, I'll get 10 intellect on whatever armor most of the time. Sometimes it doesn't work like that because the game's broken. The game is broken. But anyway, that's probably the most efficient way and the most consistent way to get some pretty high stat rolled armor. What you can also do is, if you have intellect armor and focus intellect armor, I think it's a guaranteed plus 20 every time. I could be wrong. I don't have any umbrals to try it out, but I know I've tried that in the past, and I've gotten some pretty busted 1 stat rolled armor. But so some recommendations I have for building your armor for beginner players is whatever your playstyle is. So it depends on what class you're running and what you're trying to do. So for example, for this armor build right here, it's just my everyday PvE build that I just take into just casual content. I like going fast, and I have transversives on for the sprint speed, and I enjoy movement, and I also have a higher recovery stat and a higher intellect stat just to maintain my recovery rate and my super. But if you want to get something a little more advanced, per se, like an intellect build. Now, I know the stats are busted right now, and here's my next point. If you're going for armor, try to go for the most high you can get it. And the reason why is because dealing with mods and when all the new subclasses comes out and all the new aspects, they're going to be stat penalties. So having armor to be like, plus 29, plus 24, plus 29, plus 25, something above that breaks over 100 is good for the wiggle room, so you can not only place mods where you want them, but you can interchange armor pieces whenever you want. For example, like all these helmets, I have all these, I can change whatever I want, but they don't, they're always 100, which I like, which is how I made my sets, and luckily I've gotten armor to where I can do that, but it doesn't go under 100. And plus I have plenty of room to manipulate the stats and what mods I want to use, so I'm not at a disadvantage when it comes to anything, so I'm not losing anything. So like, it's laggy, but you get the point. Armor that really goes over the limit, goes over 10, is kind of what you want for that wiggle room and for that, you know, versatility. That's the best advice I can give you, because a lot of people say you don't want anything over 100, but in reality you do, for that extra wiggle room. Now, for example, like this is just my recovery, my intellect build. I take this into much harder content. For example, my grenade build, which was originally my stasis build, but I got pieces to where I like it, so I can switch stuff around whenever I want, you know. But yeah, like, this is probably the best advice I can give for any new player or returning player to build armor. I'm not gonna go into too depth with mods, because I mean, there's much better YouTubers for that. But yeah, mods like, or I mean, armor like this is really what you want to aim for. Stuff to exceed that, so you have wiggle room, and just really, you can really build armor any way you want with different stat armors. And also, well, I forgot to mention, Busted stat armor like this, to where you get, you know, the stats you want without having to get a stat increase on your armor, is really good, because it allows you to put more mods. For example, I have this melee build that I was working on, and it has this one. Yeah, this armor right here. It's my melee suit, and I don't have any stat increases except on the arms, and powerful friends and mobility. Right? Yeah. But stuff like this, to where you get, you know, spiked armor like this, to where you don't have to put stat increases on your armor, so it makes more room for mods and stuff, is really good. It's really what you want. Luckily, next season in the Witch Queen, you can change the affinity of the armor for a lot cheaper, so you don't have to have multiple pieces of, you know, different affinities for a build. But I would, just so I don't have to change it constantly, and it just gives you something to go after, because armor really is, like, to me, the end game, at least, and the stuff I like to build. Because I've only been building armor, like, at least, like, really trying to most recently. But yeah, stuff like this, you know, you could really build it how you want, and a lot of people go for triple stats, but I mean, that's really hard to do, and you don't have any wiggle room with it most of the time. But yeah, this is the best advice for people, for new lights or returning players coming back to the game. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helped. Anyways, thanks for watching, and also thank you for all the recent support on the videos. I greatly appreciate it. It's been giving me a lot of motivation to keep content coming, and I just want to thank y'all for all the support recently. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this is kind of short. I didn't want it to be super long, but I just wanted to clarify some things and some stuff you should go after and stuff you should look into, and maybe consider tips and tricks about building armor. Maybe I'll come out with another video explaining mods, but for now, this is, I think in the short amount of time, I think I explained it pretty okay. But anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for more.